Hey everyone, this is Scott from Forgot to Grow Up. Welcome to another edition of ReWatching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Today I'm talking about Season 5, Episode 5, Rewind. So I'm just going to start off with the plot summary and then talking about my general thoughts about this episode after having just finished rewatching it. So yeah, that's the plot summary. It says, shortly after the others are taken from the diner, Fitz is taken into military custody and interrogated by General Hall and her subordinates about the others' whereabouts, as well as their involvement in the assassination attempt on General Talbot and the deaths of Jeffrey Mace and Holden Radcliffe. For the next 6 months, Fitz is given special privileges to allow him to locate the team, but he fails. With help from Lance Hunter, Fitz escapes the military facility and tracks down Enoch, the man who took the others. Enoch explains that a prophecy foretold these events and takes them to meet Robin, the daughter of Charles Hinton, who expresses her ability to see the future through drawings. Tracked by the military, Enoch helps them to escape to a secret bunker where Fitz learns that he was left behind so that he could save the team. Determined to help them, Fitz and Hunter break back into the same military facility to obtain a cryogenic pod. They find all their old S.H.I.E.L.D. tech, including the Zephyr, which they use to escape. Using the pod, Fitz is put to sleep for the next 74 years. He is awakened by Enoch, who prepares him for their arrival at the lighthouse. So yeah, I just finished watching this episode, and this episode is by far one of my very favorite of this season, if not the whole show, and it's because it's all Fitz. Fitz is my favorite. I love Fitz. And I don't mind admitting that. I love Fitz, and this whole episode is all Fitz. We didn't have Fitz for 3 episodes, but then they give us a whole episode that's only Fitz. And what else do they do with it? They throw Hunter in there. Hunter came back from 1 episode just to help Fitz escape from military custody and help him get on his way to the future. And I was just like, I remember when I first watched this episode how excited I was for that. It was such a shock for me. I hadn't seen any of the promos for the episode because I don't generally watch TV show promos. But I remember when I first watched this episode being like just so surprised and so happy because I love Hunter as well, just because he's a great character, and I love him and Fitz's dynamic. They've got that kind of brotherly thing going on. I really enjoy that, especially when they're arguing about stuff, but not really when they get talking about football, as they put it. But yeah, I just enjoyed the addition of him being the one to come in and help Fitz out throughout this episode. So yeah, I just really enjoyed those aspects of it. I enjoyed, I just enjoy those two together, having a good time. I wish, Hunter stuck around a little longer, but what are you gonna do? But yeah, some of the cool things about this episode was getting Robin back in. I forgot when I was getting into this season that she was actually connected to Charles Hinton. I'd forgotten that whole connection to the man who could see people's deaths when he touched them. I just completely forgot about that connection upon rewatching this until we got to this episode, obviously. And I was like, oh yeah, how did I forget that? How did I forget that she's Robin? So that was kind of just interesting to learn. They say that it was in the summary I was reading, they say it was the Zephyr they took, but I thought it was the bus, and now I can't remember which one was which. So I'm guessing it was the Zephyr, because Wikipedia should know better than I do. But I just thought that was another interesting thing. I like that they end up getting all the stuff back in time and getting it back. They take it all back from the military just so that once they get back from the future, they don't have to worry about that being a part of the plan. So I just enjoyed that a little bit. And then, yes, Fitz taking the long way to the future, just because how determined he is to help his friends, and the fact that he was the one who has to, he got left behind because he had to be the one to go save them eventually. I'm still a little confused I can't remember why it is that they have to go to the future in order to come back to the past to stop themselves from blowing up the Earth. So I'll have to finish watching the season and kind of remember how that lines up. Because at the moment right now, all I'm seeing is if they didn't take them in the future, why don't they have just never blown? Or if they left them in the future and didn't send Fitz to go help, wouldn't that keep Daisy from coming back and potentially quaking the Earth? And I know for those of us who've already finished the season, it's not necessarily, that's not exactly the threat necessarily, but anyways, I just thought that was an interesting little thought. But yeah, that's all my thoughts for this episode. Be sure to let me know in the comments below what you thought about this episode. Thanks again for joining me today. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and have a good one.